Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip. So I'm going to give you a bit of an update on Arsenal's rumours, going to give you a bit of update on Liverpool's transfer rumours, I'm going to give you a bit of an update on Chelsea's news of what's going on as well. I'm going to give you more news as we go along on this video. So before I do go into it all, if you do consider subscribe, and if you do consider smash that like button as we all know. So according to the BBC, as I said, and a few other reports, it's just confirmed that Toby Alderweireld, who is potentially a Manchester United target, as we all know, because obviously we're linked with him during the course of summer. Reportedly, he has just Tottenham have confirmed. Well, they've actually just confirmed this. It's in the BBC, and that Tottenham have actually triggered an extension clause in his current contract, and also added the 25 million release clause. So potentially he will be available for 25 million next summer, because Tottenham do have the option to extend his current contract till 2020. So potentially he has a 25 million release clause for next summer. Reportedly Tottenham have extended this clause in his current contract to Toby Alderweireld, because he has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all know. But potentially I think he will leave next summer. I don't think he'll leave Tottenham in January, Toby Alderweireld, because reportedly he would cost us around £30 million if we were to get him in the January transfer window. Of course, Tottenham wouldn't want to lose him. Tottenham know how much of an essential player that Toby Alderweireld is, as we all know. There's been no sign of him actually signing a new contract, as an official new contract, as we all know. But potentially Man United have been linked to him. Ed Woodward was in negotiations during the course of the summer, as we all know. But as I said, he's Premier League proven. I've got reservations about him. He's lost the pace a little bit. I think he needs to adjust his game more, as we all know. But potentially, I think he'd look good in our back line, alongside Lindelof and Bailly. And, we've also got other options at the back as well. And we've had quite a few injury problems, especially this season, as we all currently know. But potentially Toby Alderweireld has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all know, and he's Premier League proven. I think he would be a good leader at the back as well, and he's also an ex-Ajax player. He's also an ex-Atletico Madrid player. He won actually 3 titles, with Ajax, when he was actually young in his prime. That's where he actually began his career, Toby Alderweireld, as we all know. Tottenham have still got other options at the back. They've got Davinson Sanchez, they've got Serge Aurier, they've got Vertonghen, as we all currently know. So Tottenham do have other options there as well, and they've got a very, very good squad, Tottenham. They've grown and developed fantastically well. Tottenham have got a great, great team. But as I said, with Manchester United obviously being with Mauricio Pochettino to come in at the end of the season, as we all know, because he is the favourite candidate. Scholes said he'd like him to come in, Gary Neville said he'd like him to come in, and Ferguson said he'd like Pochettino. He thinks he'd be the right candidate. He's good at his use of young players. He's very, very good. He's good at growing and developing in young players as well. But I think Pochettino's fully committed to Tottenham, as we all know. He's got obviously a new stadium coming up in 2019. This year, obviously, which ain't far away. He's got a new stadium coming, as I said. He's got good players at that Tottenham team. And I think he believes, if it's not this season, maybe next season or season after, he feels as though he can start winning silverware, and feels as though he could maybe win the league with Tottenham, as we all know. We know he's only spent £50 million since 2014, Pochettino, as we all know. But potentially, I think he does want to remain at Spurs, does Pochettino, because he thinks he can elevate and graduate Spurs to that higher level and try and gain some silver. He thinks he believes he can gain some silverware with Tottenham, because he's Premier League proven, as we all know. He's only spent £50 million since 2014. He's got a good bunch of players in that Tottenham team. He's grown and developed young players very, very well. He has got a 5-year deal, so potentially Man United would have to pay around £35-40 million at the end of the season to recommend him in, if he is to come in, Pochettino. But, I think he's happy at Spurs. He's got good players. He loves attacking football, does Pochettino, and he's got Tottenham playing really, really well. He's got a good record at Tottenham. He had a good record at Southampton, as we all know, and he has been managing since 2009. He has got great managerial credentials, but Manchester United, of course, have been linked with Pochettino in the past as well. But potentially, I think Solskjaer did say he'd love the job on a full-time basis. He's had a great start, 2 wins out of 2, 8 goals scored, as we all know, and he's now getting the best out of the players, because the players are playing to the potential level, as we all currently know. And, as I said, there's a few managers in names in the hat now if Solskjaer wasn't to get the job on a full-time basis. But as I said, if Solskjaer does good, and he progresses well, and we do get in the top 4 at the end of the season, he may get offered the contract. He may get the job, as we all know. And Solskjaer's confirmed he's going to rotate the squad. He's going to give everybody the chance. He's going to give the youth a chance. He's only going to Solskjaer, as he has confirmed as well. But there's a few other managers' names that have been thrown into the hat. As I said, Pochettino's one. Zinedine Zidane's the second. You know, he's got great experience of. He was a good manager, as we all know. He's never managed or played in the Premier League, but he's dealt with top players. As we all know, he was good at Real Madrid. He's got a great managerial CV, as we all know. Reportedly, a couple of weeks ago, Man United had actually offered Zinedine Zidane the job, as we all currently know. But I think he's still contemplating because he's contemplating the offer because he's managerless at the moment, as we all know. But I think he said before he was destined to come and manage in the Premier League, Zinedine Zidane, you know, potential which he's never done. He's had discussions with his representatives in the past, Zinedine Zidane, about potentially, you know, coming to manage in the Premier League, as we all currently know, because he's never had the experience of playing in English football. He's never managed in English football, but I think he understands the philosophy very well, very, very well. Tactical game plan's very, very good, as we all know. And he likes attacking football as well. Does Zinedine Zidane? He's won individual awards, won 3 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid as a manager as well. So he's been potentially mentioned. But, you know, there's been another guy mentioned, as I have updated you on my last couple of videos. Juventus manager now does keep getting mentioned in the press. Reportedly, he's keen on coming to managing the Premier League, reportedly. And it says in the Metro, according to the Metro, that reportedly he's willing to accept the Manchester United job, reportedly. We know now he's on our managerial shortlist, as we all know. He's still potentially not a favourite. He's not a favourite. He's not the favourite to come in, as I said. But in the last couple of days, reports have been coming out about the Juventus manager as well. I think reportedly Arsenal went for him when Arsene Wenger left. After 22 years with Arsenal, but obviously they ended up recommending Unai Emery. But yeah, he's a pretty decent manager, to be quite fair. I've seen some of his statistics, you know, they look very, very good. He's got a good ratio. He's been at Juventus since 2014, so this is like his fourth or is it his 5th season now with Juventus. He's won 4 titles with them. He's won 4 consecutive domestic doubles, including Coppa Italy's as well, I think. And, you know, obviously, you know, he's Italian, he's the manager. As we all know, you know, in his playing career, he played with a lot of Italian teams, as we all know. And potentially, he began managing in 2003. I can't pronounce his name, but you'll know I'm on about because I'm saying the Juventus manager. But as I said, he began managing his managerial career in 2003. Managed quite a few small Italian teams, and he went to Saluzzo. Potentially, you know. He went with Saluzzo, and then he got the best finish with Caggarella. This Italian team, I can't pronounce them, but he got them the best finish in the Serie A in nearly 15 years. Went to AC Milan, won the Serie A with Milan in 2010, 2011. As I said, and then he got recommended to go into the Juventus job, but he has won silverware, he has won individual awards, as we all currently know. But reportedly, he's interested. Reportedly, is Massimiliano Allegri. I can't pronounce his name, but it is the Juventus manager. But there has been reports coming out from the press in the last couple of days about that as well. And there's a few potential managers' names on the shortlist, but I think it's going to be Pochettino or Zinedine Zidane. I think Pochettino will want to stay at Spurs anyway because, he's doing very, very well there. He's got Tottenham playing really, really well. Tottenham now second in the league. And Tottenham have come close on a few occasions, to winning the league. They did that season when Leicester won the league, as we all know. They came very close. They're sitting second now. And Pochettino's done a very, very good job with Tottenham Hotspur, to be quite fair. So I don't see any reasons why he'd leave. He's got a good bunch of players there. I can't see him leaving, to be quite honest with you, Pochettino. He's got a good bunch of players there. They're still awaiting a new stadium. I think they're getting it in 2019, which is not long away now, as we all currently know. They've got pretty decent fan base. They're playing really, really well. So I just don't see why Pochettino would want to leave, because he feels as though if he came to United, it didn't work out, for him, and then he would be potentially disappointed, as we all currently know. But as I said, I'm happy with Solskjaer. He knows the culture of the club, he knows the traditions of the club, he knows the club inside out, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's got the team playing very, very well again. He understands the philosophy. He likes the attacking philosophy, as he was speaking about. We're getting fullbacks high at the pitch, we're getting bodies in decent positions, as we all know. We're playing good football. The positivity now is back at Manchester United, as we all know, because obviously the negativity has been at Manchester United since Alex Ferguson retired. 27 years of great success with Alex Ferguson. Most games we'd lose under Alex Ferguson this season will probably be 6 at the most. Lowest we ever finished under Ferguson was 3rd, and we just won silverware. And we did get spoiled under Alex Ferguson, but we had great, great players under Alex Ferguson. And I think the one mistake Ferguson did after that success, as I said, there was one mistake he did by recommending David Moyes into the job. He only did it because they're both Scottish, as we all know. David Moyes didn't last long anywhere. And the players weren't playing under Moyes. And then we're recommending Van Gaal. And he had a pretty decent pedigree, with Bayern Munich and all that, previously before coming to United. But As I said, the players weren't playing for him. When we had Mourinho, the players weren't playing for Jose Mourinho, as we all know. And at the time, when Van Gaal left, we actually recommended Pep Guardiola. He was actually our first choice to get into the club. So we did him. Then we turned our attention to Jose Mourinho, and it didn't work out under Mourinho. As we all know, obviously, he had disputes with the board, disputes with the top players. As we all know, he weren't getting a lot. He just didn't suit the chaplains of the club for me. His tactics were on, his team selections were on, as we all know, with Jose Mourinho's, and I just. His managerial style wasn't good enough at the club. The players weren't playing for him, as we all know. But now, as I said, we've got Solskjaer in his interim manager. He's got the team motivated, as we all know. We're scoring goals. Pogba's playing very, very well. And I said, he's like two players in one, Pogba, when he plays well. Potentially, I think he could be on at least 10, 12 to 15 goals a season, can Paul Pogba, when potentially he's at his best. And he has proven this. He's been providing. He's been scoring goals himself, as he proved against Huddersfield. Lindelof's been playing very, very well, as I said. But obviously, we have to keep this up against Bournemouth, as we all know. But Solskjaer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows the club. He's worked with some of the players, in the reserve team, as we all currently know. But he did say he's going to rotate. He's going to give everybody the chance. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say as well. And he said there's a lot of managers that would like to manage Manchester United, including me. Whether they give him the job on a full-time basis or not, I do not know. Reportedly, he's going to get around 50 million to spend in this upcoming January transfer window, as it did say in the press a week or so ago when he updated you. Reportedly, the board have actually sanctioned the loan deals. Sanctioned him getting any permanent signings, but reportedly he's only allowed to get loan deals in January because potentially a lot of money has been invested in this club because we've seen players come in, we've seen players go, as we all know, and potentially, we spent over £400 million with Mourinho, we spent about £700-800 million since Ferguson's retirement, as we all currently know. But Solskjaer has confirmed, going to the Bournemouth game, as I did update you, that he wants Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku to express themselves and step up, and he said it's down to themselves to do it on the pitch. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had currently said, because Lukaku has missed the last 2 games. Sanchez obviously has been injured. He's had a hamstring injury, but he's set to return now, Alex Sanchez. So he could likely now be featuring in the Bournemouth game, could Sanchez. So they have got the chance to prove themselves under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. But Romelu Lukaku, as I said, everyone talks about his first touch. It's like an elephant, as we all currently know. And as we all know, he's Premier League proven, but everyone has concerns about his first touch, Romelu Lukaku's. But I don't see how he fits in the team, because players that play amongst him, as we all know, he has been a prolific goal scorer in the Premier League, but players that play amongst him, like Rashford's got great pace, he presses high up the pitch. Lingard's got great pace, he presses high up the pitch, got a lot of tenacity about his play. Same too, Martial has got pace, and they'll grow and develop well under Solskjaer. And Sanchez has got pace as well, but we know he hasn't delivered the goods since he's come, but he has got, he can prove himself under Solskjaer. So too can Romelu Lukaku. I think Martial will be set to return for the Bournemouth game as well, because he missed the last game due to illness or something like that. And as I said, he's also confirmed, Solskjaer, that Valencia is going to remain captain. This is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has also confirmed. There was speculation about him leaving a couple of weeks ago, when Mourinho was still in charge. Obviously, his representative had been in discussion about Valencia actually leaving, potentially because he had disputes with Jose Mourinho as well. But yeah, Valencia has been here like 10 years now, is it nearly? He's won quite a few individual awards. He's won 2 Premier Leagues a year. He's won FA Cup, League Cup, about 3 Community Shields. I think he's won 2 League Cups a year, something like that. As Antonio Valencia, he's also won the Europa League with us as well. And potentially, he's now aged 33 years old. He's 33 years old now. He's Antonio Valencia. As I said, he's made over 300 appearances for the club. As I said, he's been struggling for consistency and form this season, because obviously he had a mouth injury earlier on in the season, did Antonio Valencia as well. And obviously, Young's been the preferred right-back choice, as we all know. Diego Doyle has come in there as well now. And he started Doyle against Huddersfield Town, as we all currently know. But as I said, Valencia reportedly he's gonna keep the captain's armband, as we all know. But Lukaku's got the chance to prove himself, as he has been struggling for consistency and form this season. He scored 27 goals in his first season, did Romelu Lukaku. Sanchez really developed, since he's come. So let's see how he does when he does get in action, Alexis Sanchez. Let's see how he fits in, and let's see how they perform, Alexis Sanchez and Romelu Lukaku under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Here's their chance now to express themselves under Solskjaer, because they've not played yet under Solskjaer, Lukaku and Sanchez. as we all currently know. But I still think there could be players that could leave. I think Matic has done well in the 2 games, you know, with Solskjaer. He's done very, very well, even though he's slow. He has no tempo to his play. And we did it. I said I had reservations about him, as I currently said. Fellaini's slow as well. I don't see really Fellaini having a future at Manchester United, you know, to be quite honest with you. You know, we've had him since 2013, of course. But yeah, he's going to give youth a chance. Everybody's going to get the chance. I think Fred, we paid £52 million for him. I think, you know, we need to give him more game time for him to get back to his potential level. Juan Mata's going to get more game time from the start. I think Pereira's going to get more game time. Reportedly, Arsenal have been interested in Andres Pereira, as we all know. But I think he's going to see if he can get game time. But there's been no sign of him signing a new contract yet at Manchester United. We still got to think about contract renewals because we have got a catalogue of players, you know, that are coming to the end of the deals, as we all know. So that does need addressing. We think Bay's going to get more game time, even though he hasn't been in action much this season, as I said. So yeah, he's going to give everybody the chance. He's also confirmed Mason Greenwood, who's been doing well for the reserves. He's going to be playing against Reading in the FA Cup in January. I think it's January the 5th, Reading in the FA Cup. So he has confirmed that as well. But he loves the club, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He loves it with his heart. He's praised Pogba. He loves working alongside Mike Phelan, Carrick and Kieran and all that, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he feels happy, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. But we are playing the United way now, you know, the way we used to play under Ferguson. And our objective is now for 2019 to somehow to get us back challenging and getting up there and challenging for major honours and try to get silverware on the board, as we all know, and get us competing with the likes of City, the Manchester City and the Liverpools, and all that. And that is potentially the objective. I know we've had a bad 2018 with all the problems with Mourinho, with him signing a new contract in, you know, back in January until 2020. As we all know, he was frustrated with lack of transfer activity. The board weren't backing some of the signings, you know, that he currently wanted to get in, as we all know. But yeah, we'll start to a season in 28 years, as we all know, since 1990. But he's going to turn around now, as I said, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's going to turn around, as I said. But yeah, Toby Alderweireld, as I said, has reportedly Tottenham have extended a clause in his current contract, and they have the option to extend his contract till 2020, but also 25 million release clause has been included as well. So he will be available for £25 million next summer. Will Toby Alderweireld, as I said. But yeah, reportedly, this has just been reported in the media, as I said. I'm bloody red hot, mate. Reported in the media, as I said. Also, Koulibaly has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all currently know. Reportedly, Napoli rate him at around £90 million. It has confirmed in the process that Man United have had around 3 bids now turned down for Koulibaly, as we all know. You know, as I said, he's a very, very good player. He adapts every area of his game very, very well. You know, as I said, he doesn't have any weaknesses, in my opinion. You know, and he's a fine central defender, the Senegal international. You know, he's been a full international since 2015. You know, Man United have had 3 bids turned down now in the process. The Napoli president had actually confirmed that Man United had put this £95 million bid in. Reportedly, it had been turned down. According to Napoli's perspective, they was not willing to do any business in January for Koulibaly anywhere, but he's a very, very good player. He's totally on a different level to Toby Alderweireld. I do really, really like him. Man United have been in discussions. Ed Woodward had discussions with the Napoli officials about getting potentially a deal over the line. He is a lot of money. He would be the most expensive, defender in the world if he was to come to United, as we all know. But I think he'd be a good leader in our back line if you put him alongside Lindelof, if you put him alongside Bailly, as well. No, I think he would be very, very good, to be quite honest with you. Koulibaly, he's never played in the Premier League, but Napoli only paid, £7 million for him from Genk, as we all know. But he's grown and developed very, very well, and his performances have been good, and his versatility is very, very good as well. He's 27, so we still get a lot of years out of him. I'd love him at Manchester United, Koulibaly, but he does cost a lot of money, and the demand wants around 90 million, maybe £100 million for Koulibaly. He's still under contract with Napoli, as we all know. He's under contract to 2023 with Napoli, as we all know, is Koulibaly, but he has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all currently know. And as I already updated you, Man United have been interested in getting a winger in. Douglas Costa's name's been mentioned as well. As I was saying about Douglas Costa, as I said, he's permanently now at Juventus. He isn't getting the game time he wants because obviously Ronaldo's in there now. Since Ronaldo's arrived, he hasn't been getting the game time. Juventus obviously triggered his 36 million release clause, paid 36 million and got him permanently. He was on a 1-year loan season last season with Juventus. He actually won the domestic double in his first season with Juventus. But his dribbling's good. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He can put crosses into the box as well, which is very, very good. And he has proven himself to be a good goal scorer. You know, he's operated as an attacking midfielder before, but I think he can play on each wing as well. So his versatility is very, very good, Douglas Costa's. But he hasn't really had the chance this season, as we all know, Douglas Costa, because potentially Ronaldo's there now, as we all know. I thought he's 28, isn't it? I thought he was good. I thought he was good when he was younger in his prime, Douglas Costa. I thought he had an outstanding 5 summit years, you know, with Shakhtar Donetsk. I thought he did well at Bayern Munich. He actually began his career with Guerrero as well. But actually, Man United officially told Mourinho that Man United were going to get a deal, try and agree a deal to get Douglas Costa in the January transfer window. But allegedly, Man United had around a £54 million turned down by Juventus for the play. So this is what it potentially said. So yeah, potentially Bournemouth's 4:30 on Saturday, as we all know. Potentially Bournemouth have lost 4 of their last 5 games, as I said. They're sitting 12th in the Premier League, I think, but I still think they only are 6 points behind Manchester United, as we all currently know. Last 7 meetings, Man U have won 5, there's been 1 draw, and they beat us once. They beat us the first time ever when they actually came up from the Championship, did Bournemouth. That was back in 2015. That was a 2-1 defeat. I think we've still got Smalling out and Rojo out, and I think Scott McTominay still a doubt as well. Bournemouth have got Lewis Cook out for the season, as we all know, through an injury. They've got Daniel Gosling out, and they've got Adam Smith out as well as Bournemouth, so they've got a few injury problems of their own. We won the reverse fixture early on in the season by 2-1. As I said, you know, first half performance was very, very disappointing. You know, I think we could have quite easily lost that game at Bournemouth. First half performance was woeful. Bournemouth played well in the first half. You know, Callum Wilson did score in that game as well. But we could have quite easily lost that game at Bournemouth. We did turn up in the second half, you know, when Herrera, I think, came on. You know, it changed the game around. You know, Rashford obviously scoring the winner in stoppage time, I think, at Bournemouth's ground. But as I said, you know, I think we'll comfortably win. You know, the performances are looking very, very good. The players are gelling together. They're communicating well as a team. We're looking energetic, as I said, and it's very, very good to see. So I think we're going to definitely win this. We've got winnable games coming up, as I currently said. So potentially, yeah, guys, as I was saying, I'm going to update you some more transfer rumours now. We're going to give you a bit of update on Arsenal's transfer rumours that are going on with them, as I said. So reportedly, Arsenal, reportedly the representative of Ever Benga, that Sevilla player. Obviously, Emre's had experience of working with him, obviously, because Emre's worked with Ever Benga at Sevilla and worked with him at Valencia, of course, when he was young in his prime, the player. He's age 30 years of age. 30 years of age. He is an attacking midfielder. Reportedly, Ever Benga's representatives has been in London to probably negotiate about Arsenal getting a deal over the line for the player. Reportedly, Arsenal, I think, have they held discussions? I do not know, but I know the representative of Ever Benga's is in London because Arsenal are keen on him. Emre is keen on him. As I said, some of his statistics, what I've read of him, good indeed. Ever Benga's is a Sevilla player. He has won 2 Europa Leagues with Sevilla. I think he had 1 season with Inter Milan as well. You know, he began his actual career with Boca Juniors, where, you know, when he was a lot younger in his prime, when he was a youngster. Potentially with Valencia, though, he made 162 appearances. He won the Copa del Rey with Valencia as well. He was there He was there numerous years with Valencia. He was there a good 7 years or something like that at Valencia. As I said, he had loan deals with Newell's Old Boys and Atletico Madrid as well, did the player. He is Argentinian. As I said, he's Argentinian. He became in the Copa America in 2015-16 as well. Ever Benga. I can't pronounce his some names you just can't pronounce, can you guys? And that's just the way it is, as I said. But yeah, Arsenal reportedly being interested in him. The player has got around an 18 million release clause, so Arsenal are convinced of getting a deal over the line because obviously Arsenal have got a few players that are guaranteed to leave. As I did say to you, Ozil's future is still uncertain. They've got a few injury problems as well. Rob Holding, I think, is out for the season for them as well. Aaron Ramsey were injured early on the season as well. I think I've still got Mustafi injured. I think it said Bellerin were injured, you know, last time. Look, so they have got a few injury problems, and I think defensively they do need to strengthen up as well because they are giving away far too many chances at Arsenal against them. I think they do need a winger up there as well. You know, that can complement the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette and all that. But they have got a good attacking team. You know, I think Torreira is a good player for Arsenal. Aubameyang and Lacazette are a great partnership. You know, they score goals, they've got pace, as we all know. So yeah, but I still think they potentially need to address the defence. They need a winger, and I think Umeme has to spend in the January transfer window, as we all know. But as I said, you know, they've got a few potential targets. As I said, they've got 5 players last summer, as we all know. But yeah, as I said, they've been interested in this Ever Benga. He's got an 18 million release clause, and Arsenal are interested in him. They're also, as I do keep updating you, interested in Nicolas Pepe. He is a winger. He's Nicolas Pepe. As I said, I think he's only a youngster, this Nicolas Pepe. As I said, reportedly, I think he's rated at around, is it 70 odd million pounds or something like that. I think this is what they're demanding that they want, Lille. He's a player that Arsenal have been interested in. I think Arsenal have held negotiations about it, but he's a potential Arsenal target, and he's only young. He's in his prime. He's Nicolas Pepe. He is a Lille player. Reportedly, his performances for Lille have been very, very good. He is Ivory Coast, and he's been a full international since 2016. I think he's still got about 4 years left on his deal. Or something like that, if I'm right. It's about 4 years, 3.5 years left on his deal, because he signed a 5-year deal back in June 2017 with Lille as well, did the player. And he's obviously an ex-Angus player and all that. But reportedly supposed to be a very, very good player of what I've seen of some of his statistics, as I said. But he's been a potential Arsenal target as well as that Nicolas Pepe. Don't forget they have been interested in Christian Pavon as well. He has a 40 million release clause, as I said. You know, he's a Boca Juniors player, and he's only young as well. And he's only young as well. So reportedly, Arsenal have been interested in Christian Pavon as well. So they've got a few potential targets, because obviously they've got Welbeck out this season. He's guaranteed to leave. Aaron Ramsey's guaranteed to leave. But from Arsenal's perspective, I think they should rather be able to cash in for the play in January rather than let him go on a free transfer next summer, because we all know that they wouldn't want to let him go on a free next summer. We all know that Arsenal, he's not getting a new contract at Arsenal. He's blatantly being told. He's been at the club now about 10 years this summer. There has been a few teams monitoring an interest. Juventus have been interested in him. Reportedly, Paris Saint-Germain have held negotiations with Arsenal regarding Aaron Ramsey. Reportedly, PSG willing to offer around 20 million for him, plus an 18-month contract, as we all know, Aaron Ramsey. But he's made over like 200 odd appearances for Arsenal, you know, since he's been there. He's done good over the years with Arsenal. He's grown and developed very, very well as Aaron Ramsey. But potentially, you know, he's used Cardiff play, you know, where he's up the youth system with Cardiff. I think he only made 22 appearances for Cardiff, but he became the youngest first-team player ever, you know, during his reign at Cardiff, as I said. I think he had a loan spell with Nottingham Forest as well, did Aaron Ramsey. But, yeah, I think it's Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain that have been interested in him. A few other teams have been interested in him as well. As I said, Ozil's future still uncertain with Arsenal. Does he have a future with Arsenal? Because he hasn't established himself that well under Emery. He's failed to adapt himself. He had injury problem early on the season, and he's been struggling for consistency and form, and he has missed some key games as Mesut Ozil. So his future still uncertain. There's been a few teams monitoring and interested in him. Arsenal would obviously recommend a fee for him, because obviously he signed a new contract last year worth over £350,000 a week. So I think potentially he is Arsenal's highest paid player at this moment. I think he is the highest paid player at the moment. Is Mesut Ozil, as I said, but he's still Premier League proven. He is still a very, very good player. He's been good throughout his playing career. He's grown and developed very, very well. Potentially, you know, obviously began his career with Schalke, then he was Werder Bremen. Real Madrid, I thought he was very, very good at Real Madrid. You know, he's won honours, he's won individual awards, and he's been at Arsenal since 2013, and I think he's done very, very well. But this season, he's really failed to establish himself as Mesut Ozil, to be quite honest with you. As we all currently know. So there has been rumours potentially about him maybe leaving, but we're not too sure, as we all know. They're not too sure yet, because he hasn't fully committed his future. Does he have a future at Arsenal? You know, we do not know. As I said, so that's a bit of Arsenal transfer rumours to update you with. As I've updated you on a regular basis about a bit of Liverpool's and Chelsea's transfer rumours that are going on. Liverpool are reportedly still interested in Pulisic. Chelsea are obviously interested in Pulisic as well, because Chelsea have got players in that team that some of them could leave. You know, Callum Hudson's future is uncertain because there's been no sign of him signing a new contract. He is 18 years old, but he isn't getting the game time at Chelsea. Eden Hazard reportedly is going to commit his future at the end of the season, so he has not yet committed his future at Chelsea. We know Real Madrid have reportedly been monitoring the interest in him. Morata looks set to be leaving as Chelsea as well, but I said Chelsea do need a strong centre forward in this upcoming January transfer window to Chelsea. But as I said, it's been Liverpool and Chelsea that have been interested in Christian Pulisic. I think Borussia Dortmund are willing to do business in the January window. Now, as I said, he's a good young player. He's established himself well in Germany with Borussia Dortmund as the player. You know, he's American, as we all know. He's good young age talent. He is only 20 years of age. Klopp's obviously had experience of working with him in the past, as we all know, because Liverpool have invested, obviously, in the last couple of seasons. Liverpool and Chelsea were the highest spenders during the course of last summer, as we all know. But as I said, Christian Pulisic reported, I think he's keen on a move to the Premier League. He's never had an experience of playing in the Premier League, as we all know. Reportedly, there were one report saying Chelsea were favourites to get him, and from the player's perspective, he preferred the move to Chelsea. But then other reports saying that Liverpool are actually the favourites to actually sign Christian Pulisic. But it has been them two teams that have been interested in him, reportedly. He is under contract with Dortmund until 2020, but Borussia Dortmund confirmed quite a few weeks ago, was it, that they weren't willing to do any business in January because the director of Borussia Dortmund had confirmed this. But I think but they did say they're willing to do business in the summer as long as Chelsea or Liverpool were willing to pay up to £50-60 million. But I think they're willing to do, reportedly the recent reports have come out saying they're willing to do business in January because obviously Christian Pulisic is keen on leaving. They know he's going to leave Borussia Dortmund. So obviously Borussia Dortmund are eyeing out a replacement for him because there's been no sign of Christian Pulisic actually signing a new long-term deal with Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, he's out of favour now at Borussia Dortmund. He can play attacking mid. You can play him out wide as well, so his versatility is very, very good. And he's only a young player. He's only 20 years of age, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him to potentially get better and grow and develop, as we all know. But it has been Chelsea and Liverpool interested in the player as well. I think he'd complement Liverpool's team very, very well. You know, if you put him alongside, he'd mix in very, very well. If you put him alongside Salah or the likes of Firmino and Mane, you know, he'd do very well. I think he'd create chances, he'd deliver, as we all know, and he's known for scoring goals of his own as well. He's Pulisic, if you put him in the Chelsea team, I think he'd do well in the Chelsea team because Chelsea have got good players as well, as I said. But Chelsea and Liverpool are the ones that have been linked with Christian Pulisic, as we all know. As I did say though, you know, as I was discussing with you the other week about Morata and Gonzalo Higuain as a potential swap deal, as we all know, the rumours are coming out about it again that reportedly, from Gonzalo Higuain's perspective, that reportedly he's keen on making the move to Stamford Bridge, as we all know, because there has been talks about reportedly a swap deal, and I think it's only a loan exchange, so deal between Morata and Gonzalo Higuain, because obviously Morata's fallen down the pecking order at Chelsea, hasn't really proven himself in the Premier League that well with Chelsea since he's come to the Premier League, Alvaro Morata. He has struggled for consistency, he has struggled for form, as we all know, and he's obviously now not first choice under Sarri, as we all know, so I think he's keen on making the move to AC Milan, so there could be a potential swap deal done between Morata and Gonzalo Higuain. As I said, because obviously Morata, as I said, he was okay in 2017-18 season. As I said, Chelsea paid £60 million for him. But he has got good pace, Morata. He can score goals. He's good in the air. You can put him on the wing. Obviously, he mainly plays up front, but you can obviously put him on the wing as well. And he's good in the air. He's got quite a lot of tenacity about his play when he is playing very, very well. Because the majority of his playing career, he did spend it with Real Madrid. He won honours. I know he had a 2-year spell with Juventus as well. Did have Real Morata, as we all know. But as I said, yeah, he's done very, very well, but he hasn't really, delivered the goods to Chelsea, especially this season under Sarri, as we all know. So potentially there has been talks about Morata and Gonzalo Higuain as a swap deal. But as I said, he struggled for Gonzalo Higuain, struggled for consistency at AC Milan because obviously Milan have had to pay around the £17 million fee to get him on loan from Juventus, as we all know. Chelsea have been in negotiations with both Juventus and AC Milan over this because Chelsea are keen on Gonzalo Higuain, and obviously Sarri has had experience with working with Gonzalo Higuain because obviously Gonzalo Higuain had a 3-year 3-year tenure with Napoli. One of his seasons he scored 36 goals, and obviously I think Sarri was there at the time. So Sarri's keen on reuniting with the player. I think he would dramatically improve Chelsea's team, even though he's 31. I think he'd deliver goals to them. He'd lead the lines. He'd be guaranteed first-team football. As we all know, I think he'd look good alongside Giroud and that. And, you know, the likes of Eden Hazard, if he does stay at Chelsea, he hasn't fully committed his future yet. I think he would look good, as I said. But he's known for scoring goals. He's very agile. He's creative. He leads the lines very, very well. He's got good pace as well. He's quick on the ball, as I said. But obviously, he's getting older now. He hasn't really done it at AC Milan. But when he was at Real Madrid, when he was a lot younger in his prime, he had about 6 great years there. He scored 100 odd goals in about 190 appearances. With Napoli, he scored 36 goals in one of his seasons. And with Juventus, you know, he was potentially the key player to get them to the 2017 Champions League final as well. You know, he's South American. Juventus had to fork out around £90 million for the player, as we all currently know. But yeah, now he's obviously at AC Milan. He actually won the domestic double in his first 2 seasons with Juventus as well. Did the current player, but obviously now he's on loan at AC Milan. But as I said, you know, there has been talks about that as well. So he could be going to Chelsea. Gonzalo Higuain and Morata could be going to AC Milan. Reportedly, he said it allegedly had been agreed, or it's close to coming to an agreement of that potential swap deal, as we all currently know. As I did say to you, Thorgan Hazard has been mentioned. Belgium, as I said, he's Belgium. I think he can play attacking mid. You can play him out wide as well. Reportedly, Liverpool have been interested in him. Reportedly, he's got a 26 million release clause. As I've updated you on quite a few times. Thorgan Hazard, obviously the brother of Eden Hazard and the brother of Kylian Hazard as well. Kylian Hazard and Eden Hazard, they're his brothers. He is Belgium, is the current player. Thorgan Hazard, as I said, he's a Borussia Mönchengladbach player, signed permanently for them in 2015. He's supposed to be a pretty decent outfit of what I've seen of him. He's initially made over 100 appearances for the club as Thorgan Hazard. You know, he obviously began his career with Lens. That was in his young days. You know, he actually played for Chelsea, but he never made a senior appearance. He never played a competitive match for Chelsea. You know, he went on loan, and now obviously he's at Borussia Mönchengladbach. As we all know, he's won Belgian Golden Shoe, Belgian Football of the Year as well, and he's potentially Belgium, as we all currently know. But yeah, reportedly there has been talks about that. Liverpool want to get a deal over the line for around 31 million. His release clause is supposed to be around 26 million pounds. Is his release clause reportedly. But yeah, Liverpool have been interested in him as well. And also to Borussia Dortmund have also been interested in him as well. I've obviously given you an update about Timo Werner. As I said, he's still a potential Liverpool target. Liverpool have been linked to Timo Werner in the past at RP Leipzig striker, but very, very good striker. Still he's only 22 years of age. Is Timo Werner, as I said. He does score goals. He scored 11 in 17 Bundesliga appearances this season. Very, very good player. As I said, he won the Confederations Cup with Germany in 2017, as I said. Very, very prolific goal scorer in his international youth level. Very, very good indeed. And he's grown and developed very, very well, and he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. You know, I think he has been discussing before about making a move to the Premier League, Timo Werner. I think, you know, Liverpool were linked to him, they have been linked to him in the past. I think he'd cost around at least 50-60 million pounds, you know, if Liverpool was to try and get a deal over the line for him. But yeah, reportedly Liverpool have been interested in him as well. You know, when he was at Stuttgart, that's where he actually risen up the ranks. He began his actual senior career with them in 2013. He spent 3 years with them. He was the youngest player at the time to represent them, the youngest goal scorer ever. But he didn't really do that well at Stuttgart, to be quite honest with you. But you know, I think he's made around over 150 odd appearances in the Bundesliga. He actually became the youngest player to do that, so he holds a record for that. Does Timo Werner, as we all know, but he's done very, very well for RP Leipzig, as we all know. But Liverpool are monitoring and interested in him as well. But they've been linked to him in the past. I think he's keen on staying in Germany. Bayern Munich have also been linked to him, as we all currently know. But as I said, there's some transfer rumours to update you with, as I said, guys. But as I said at the beginning of the video about potentially this Juventus manager, reportedly he's considering, you know, coming in. I think he's keen on coming to manage in the Premier League, as I currently said. He's won 4 consecutive domestic doubles with Juventus. And also he helped get that he got them to 2 Champions League. He's got them 2 Champions League finals. As the Juventus manager, he got them 2015 one, the 2017 one as well. So he has done a pretty good job there with Juventus. But I don't really know much about him. I've just seen some of his statistics, as I said, and look pretty good there. To kind of see. So anyway. As I said, it's everything to update today. There's some transfer rumours. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. As I said, if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you guys all again on my next video. Bye.